So got a Abzan Midrange deck. Started messing with. Really started enjoying playing with Abzan control. Um, so I wanted to try out midrange, which is really just, I suppose it's a little more creature heavy with a low curve going into the high stuff. Pretty similar to the control build. The advantage of we have feast mains in the main, so now we have 2 drops besides the ultimate price. And I don't imagine Dromoka's command is very rarely ever a 2-drop, but so we have 3 dim protectors, 4 fleece, 4 coursers, 4 rhinos, 2 tassigers, because he plays so well with languish. All around good creature. Generally we're going to be dropping quite a few spells into our graveyard, so he's very easy to cast. Usually we'll be able to cast two creatures in a turn, or maybe throw him and a planeswalker out, him and a kill spell, stuff like that. 1 Dragonlord Dromoka. I guess you could put Wingmate Rock in this place, and also in Soren's place. Maybe cut down to 1 Soren, and maybe to 1 Tasker and put in 2 Wingmate Rocks and a Dragonlord Dromoka if you like to have them, the flyers, as a finisher more. But playing Languish and Tragic Arrogance, I don't like to have a board filled with creatures, which is one reason why I'm hesitant to mess with mid-range in the first place. But I mean, losing your Fleece main lines isn't really a big deal. They generally don't survive anyway. And if they are alive, then you've probably already got control of the board state, so it doesn't really matter. Got 2 Elspeth and 2 Soren. Obvious reasons. Nothing crazy there. Origins cards. Playing 2 Tragic Arrogance in the main. The card has been excellent every time I've had the opportunity to play it. Never been disappointed. Plays so well with Dim Protector. Getting it back and casting it again. It just, it absolutely blows out any kind of devotion strategy. They can't recover from that. Got 1 Languish in the main. I think Languish is a little more situational. Still, it plays well with our creatures. With our 4 and 6 drops. We also got 1 in the side, but 2 ultimate price main, 1 Dromoka's command main. I think it's good enough to play main since we had the Fleece main lions to fight other creatures with. They're usually big enough to make some good plays. Quite a bit of aggro decks. I've been seeing a lot of enchantments online lately. I don't think it's quite the situation of playing with Abzan aggro where you want more than 1 main. 2 main, it wouldn't be bad, but I like having the 2 ultimate price main. The 2-1 split rather than 2 commands and 1 ultimate price main. Because ultimate price is our 2-drop a lot of times. Ultimate price in the quarter is generally pretty good. Then we have 3 downfall, 4 Abzan charm, and like I said, 2 Soren, 2 Elspeth. And if you look at the mana base, it probably looks kind of funky. I've got 3 Jungle Hollow in. I actually ended up selling my Temple of Maladies, my playset of Temple of Maladies, whenever the price shot up. And I wish I would have waited a few more, like a week or so, because the price, doubled after that, in a very short time. But not planning on buying anymore for Moto. I don't see myself using them in the Eternal formats anytime soon, if at all. So went ahead and got rid of them, got some value. Made some money, definitely made a good bit of money off of them because I bought them when they were cheap after they went up and they dropped way low, and they just skyrocketed again over the past few weeks. But nothing, nothing crazy with the mana base. Is pretty much your general. We do want to make sure we have 2 planes, at least I do, because playing Tragic Arrogance and Elspeth, there's been a lot of times where the only way I was able to get 2 white, or that second white, well, sometimes the only way you get 2 white is through 2 Windswept Heaths. So it can make the difference sometimes, not all the time, but since we're not playing Nissa, we're not milling the deck, then, the 2 and 2 split is just fine. Since I'm using Jungle Hollows, I don't like playing tap lands that you can't scry off of. That's a lot of lost value, especially in this deck. Especially with Courser, it's not as good, but so I'm playing 3 Temple of Silence. Usually you play 3 Temple of Silence or 4 Temple of Silence, 4 and 4, or the Malady and Silence, or 3 and 3 and play some more Pain lands. I haven't played this mid-range a whole lot, so I can see that you'd want maybe more Pain lands than Control would, since you want to play your line, make sure that you're hitting your 2-drop for Lions a lot of times. But and also having ultimate price up early is good, especially when you can 2-drop the ultimate price. It's pretty good. So I'm just playing 3 Silence and 1 Plenty. I stuck the Plenty in there because it's a scry land that I have that'll fit in the mana base and get a little more value since we are missing some scry lands. But we're at 4 scry lands, 4 citadels, and 3 hollows, so that's 11 tapped lands total. I think Control plays 12 tapped lands total most of the time, depending on how you build your mana base. And something you might notice about this that is different than most builds is we're not playing Thoughtseize in the main. Reason being, I'm kind of testing also to see how this deck does, because at the FNM where I play, there's a lot of aggro decks, a lot of mono red, the field is generally 75% of some variety of aggro. And I would also, well, I don't know. I just think it's kind of doing it just like how Abzan aggro does, and just put your Thoughtseize in the sideboard, and that's actually worked out very well, since we do play 3 board wipes. Usually that's enough to power us through. And if you can win the first match, Thoughtseize is excellent against the decks that it's good against anyways, but it's also really great when you're on the draw. And your sweepers are also great on the draw. So I stuck a second Languish in the sideboard. I don't really like playing 2 main board with the mid-range, because I don't like killing the Fleece main lines. It's not a huge loss, like I said, but if I can avoid it, that's fine. I think one is plenty. 3 sweepers gives you a relatively high chance of hitting a sweeper by the time you're ready to play it. Playing 2 Hallowed Moonlights, just testing them out in the format and see how they do. I've never played against a rally deck on Moto, but they're good against Deathmist Raptor, against the green-white aggro. They're great against Hangerbacks and you name it. But it's one of those cards also that what it's good against, it's great against, and the cycling on it is also very, very good. So I'm glad they put the cycling on there. Without the cycling ability, it becomes vastly worse. But I think 2 of in the side is just fine for right now. We'll see how it goes. Like, normally you can play Anafenza in the side. The only bad thing about her in this deck is that she interacts with your 3-drop of Courser, which it usually isn't too tough. It's not going to hurt you too much, but I'm going to try out the Hallowed Moonlights. It's also good. I played a match against Elves that I'm going to post after this, and I didn't bring it in then. I think I may have. I can't remember. But, it can be good against Elves. It can stop them from killing you. Because their Shaman of the Pack would never actually enter the battlefield. He'd get exiled before